Hi, I'm Kyle Mitchell with Whitaker Brothers, and we got a really cool product today. This is the Yale 620 RC. It fits into a very special niche of paper cutters. And if you come on in a little bit closer, I'll give you a tour. Alright, so operating this is very easy. I've got a small stack of paper right here, and I'm going to try to cut them in half. Now this is 8.5 by 11, so if I want to cut that in half, I want to put it at 5.5 inches. In order to make that adjustment, I use this. I'm going to adjust it until I found right about where I want to be. Now the next step is to bring the blade up. Then we open up the safety shield. There are a lot of safety features on this, and I'll go through them. But basically, if you're in any danger of hurting yourself, the machine won't allow you to lift up this cover. That's a very nice feature. So I'm going to put it in. You always put your paper in against the back left corner. Why is that? It's because the blade comes down, and any push you want to be against the side wall. So now I'm going to shut the safety guard. And finally, I want to bring down the clamp. It brings down this piece, this metal piece, that is holding the paper in place. We can still bring up the shield because the blade isn't down, but you can see this paper is not going anywhere. So when the blade comes down and kisses it, it's still not going anywhere. Now, when I bring down this blade, I'm going to use 2 fingers, okay? It's not a lot of effort necessary. Bring it down, and usually when it gets to about chest length, that's when I push. And that was really not difficult. Even if you are half the size I am, you'll be able to push down on this using some weight, and it won't be difficult. Bring the blade back up because we made our cut. Open up the safety shield, and here's our paper. There we go, cut perfectly in half, and there's the other piece right there. I can lift up the clamp and release it and take the leftover. So there we go. 2 sets of paper cut perfectly in half. So in terms of safety, one of the most important things about this is that when the blade is at all exposed, you're not going to be able to lift up the shield. So I'm going to bring up the clamp. Now I'm going to bring down the blade about, let's see here, how about that? About halfway. And that blade is extremely sharp. It can go through a ream of paper like butter. So when it's extended, we can't lift this up. But if we bring this back up, retract the blade, then we can open up the shield again. Very easy to use. It protects you. Now there's 3 things about the Yale 620 RC that you should know before you buy it. First of all, we have an 18-inch cutting width. That is a lot of space. If you want any more space than that, then you have to get a floor model trimmer, or you have to get a hydraulic paper cutter that's going to be up in the 20 to 30 inch range, but they're also much more expensive. The next thing to know about it is this stand right here comes standard. It doesn't cost extra. It's not an option. The price that you see includes this stand. And finally, one of my favorite parts about the 620 RC is how much paper we can cut at one time. So this is a ream of paper, 3 inches of paper. I can put that all the way in the machine, and I could bring down the blade if I felt like wasting a whole ream of paper. That's how much cutting capacity this has. That is extremely impressive. Exactly 3.14 inches worth of cutting height. So that's going to be a little bit more than a whole ream of paper. And it's tough to find a paper cutter that has that kind of a capacity at this kind of a price. So now I want to share some maintenance tips with you for the Yale 620 RC. Now for starters, there's nothing mechanical in this. So there isn't a circuit board that blows. It's very solid and reliable in that regard. The only thing that's going to blow might be your arm if you try to use it too much, but that's on you. The machine itself, highly durable. Let me show you one of the most common problems that happens. That is, we go to cut something, and we make our cut, but at the very bottom you find 1 or 2 pieces of paper that didn't get cut. They may even have a little crease in the bottom, but the cut didn't happen. There are 2 things that cause this. The first one is right inside, you'll see our cutting stick. And I'll pull it out for you to take a look at it. Now this stick right here is what the blade dives into rather than diving into metal. Why? Because metal is going to dull it. Polyurethane is not going to dull the blade. So you'll see a few kiss marks on this, and if the kiss marks get a little too deep, then the blade doesn't go all the way through the paper, and you're going to end up with a couple pieces of paper at the very bottom that don't get cut. So you want to take this and you want to rotate it. You've got 4 different sides, but you can also flip it over and it's going to hit a slightly different spot. So you have a total of 8 different places on a cutting stick that a blade can come down on. The cutting stick should last you weeks to months, depending on how much usage you're getting out of the equipment. So if the cutting stick didn't end up being the problem, so we switch the cutting stick, we turn it around, we do all sorts of things, and we're still not getting what we want, the final possibility is that the blade is just not sharp enough. And at that point, get in touch with Whitaker Brothers. Either you can take the blade out yourself, or you can have one of our professionals take the blade out for you, have it sent back to our location, it'll be sharpened, and sent back to you a brand new blade. My name's Kyle Mitchell with Whitaker Brothers. Thanks for watching.